Number 1. Write an inequality that represents the verbal expression below. X is greater than or equal to 7. So we're told it's greater than or equal to. Greater than or equal to is when the inequality symbol is pointing to the right, and the equal to means there is a line under that inequality. So that means it is going to be F. Greater than, it's pointing toward the right with the line under it for 7. So X is greater than or equal to 7. And that's number 1. Number 2 says graph the inequality. Notice it's written as 5 is less than or equal to B. We have to rewrite it with the letter on the left first before we graph it. So let's do that. So we first write the B on the left and the 5 on the right. When we do that, we switch the direction of the inequality. So instead of less than or equal to, it'll become greater than or equal to. So now this is the inequality we're graphing. Now notice that when the letter's on the left, you go by the direction this is pointing to tell you what direction the graph will go in. So this is pointing toward the right, so the graph is going to go to the right. There's a line under it, so that means it's going to be a closed circle. No line under it means it's going to be an open circle. So now let's go back to our graph. So it's going to be a closed circle on 5 going to the right. We have closed circle on 5 on C and F, but going to the right on F, so it has to be F. And that's your answer for number 2. Going to number 6, determine whether each number is a solution of the inequality below. So what we need to do is substitute each of these numbers in for X and see if we get a true inequality. So let's take a closer look and see. So substituting in -1 for X, we have 4 times -1, which is -4, plus 2 is less than or equal to -5. -4 plus 2 is -2, is less than or equal to -5. And that's not true. -2 is not less than -5, and -2 is not equal to -5. So our answer is going to be no for A. For B, we have 4 times 0 plus 2 is less than or equal to -5. So 4 times 0 is 0, so we're just left with 2. So 2 is less than or equal to -5, which also is not true. 2 is greater than -5, not less than, so it's going to be no again for B. Substituting in 2 for C, so 2 times 4 plus 2 is less than or equal to -5. So we have 8 plus 2 is less than or equal to -5. So we're saying 10 is less than or equal to -5, which is also a no. So for A, B, and C, they're all going to be no, so let's type it in. So we have -1 not being a solution, 0 for B is not a solution, and 2 for C is not a solution. And that's your answer for number 6. Going to number 8, it says graph the inequality. It's a closed circle because of the line under it, so it's either going to be B or C. Since X is on the left, we go by the way it's pointing. It's pointing toward the right, so going to the right means it's going to be C. That's the answer for number 8. Number 11, it says write an inequality solving the variable X that describes the set of numbers graphed below. So we're starting at -5, and it's an open circle, so that tells me it can't be A or B, it has to be C or D, since the open circle means there's no line under it. So we just eliminated half of our answers. It is going to the right, so since it's going to the right, the inequality that's pointing to the right is D. So your answer is going to be D for number 11. Number 14, it says define a variable and write an inequality to model the given situation. So we have a law clerk has earned less than $20,000 since being hired. Less than means it's pointing to the left, and since it's only less than, not less than or equal to, it would be C for number 14. Number 15, we are again defining a variable and writing an inequality. So we're told a light bulb can be at most 50 watts to be safely used in this light fixture, so at most means it can be that much or less. It can't be any more than that. So the inequality to represent at most will be less than or equal to, because it can only be that amount or less. So less than or equal to is D. So W for wattage is less than or equal to 50, meaning it will be at most 50. That's number 15. 17, write the inequality in words. So it says 9 is less than or equal to n. So that would be C, 9 is less than or equal to n. The inequality pointing to the left with the line under it means less than or equal to. So that's why the answer is going to be C for number 17.